Good morning, friends. It's Terrific Tuesday. Are we ready? I'm ready. I'm ready to work on this baby blanket I've got going. Look how pretty this is. So pretty. Bright, fun colors. I love, 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 love it. How is everybody? Jody, how are you? Kathy, thank you so much for the gift this morning. And Jody, appreciate that. So, y'all, this morning I'm working on a baby blanket. And I'm working with none other than Lion Brand ice cream yarn. Look at how pretty that is. This is the colorway Parfait. Just fabulous. I'm almost through my first skein here, and we're going to have to be getting into our second skein. But this is a very easy repeating blanket that I'm working on, and I just kind of came up with this in my brain. So I started with a starting chain of 123, and then I turned and I did a half double into each of those chains. That's what this stitch is right here. I followed with a single crochet in the front loop, followed by a crisscross double crochet, then a single crochet, and then back to the half double. So that's our little repeat here. And you can see I'm just kind of stacking these up on top of each other. And it's just a really easy, fun way to do this. Now, right now, I'm working on the back of the blanket. I've turned my work and I'm working that single crochet in the front loop and the third loop. But this is what it looks like on the back. So really pretty on both sides. Vielka, good morning. How are you? Sarah is in the house. Cindy, good morning. Today I am working with a G6 hook. This is a three-weight, lightweight yarn, 100% acrylic, machine washable and dryable. This is a great yarn for baby blankets or just a regular blanket. A lot of people use ice cream yarn for like a hexagon cardigan. So really beautiful yarn to work with. Hey Pam, good morning. Miss Mary's in the house. Vicky is here. Terrific Tuesday, rocking the sub stickers. Vicky, thank you so much for being a subscriber. Appreciate you. So anyhow, I hope everybody is having a great week this week. Now I did some surprise live sessions. I went on yesterday morning, and I don't normally go on Mondays. But I was testing out my phone stand, and so I did a little special session yesterday morning, and then Mr. Wheeler had a rough day at work. He was tired, and so he went on to bed, and I went live last night. Some of you friends were there watching me last night. So pretty cool, kind of fun, kind of different. I don't know how often I would be going live at night. Last night was my first night doing it. And so anyhow, just something a little different. Let's see. Am I too high up on this screen here? Let me see if I can tilt this back a smidge. Get me more centered here on TikTok. I think I look all right over there on YouTube. Looking good on YouTube. Hey, Gen X, good morning. How are you, friend? This light is kind of shining in my eyes. Let me adjust this one just a smidge so I can get comfortable here. Let's get this day going, right? Get this day going. Miss Mary, thank you for the gift this morning. I love the new little icons when you tap your screen on TikTok. Over here on where's my finger? Over here. Oh, yeah, here's my finger. How they fly up with different characters now. Isn't that cool? TikTok did a good job on that. It used to just be little hearts, and now it's all sorts of funfetti almost, like little smiley hearts, and we got our little party wands going. So anyhow, pretty exciting. I like that they did that. Maggie, thank you so much, and good morning. Our friend Maggie is here, y'all. If you're not following Maggie, she's one to watch here on TikTok. Maybe one of the mods could pin Maggie in the comments if you're not following her. I really enjoy her channel. I know you will too. So don't miss out. Hey, Joni, good morning. Gen X Girl, thank you for the heart me. Queen 530, thank you for the heart me. Supporting the fan club. They changed the name. It used to be a team. Now it's a fan club. TikTok's always changing it up, keeping it fresh for us, keeping it exciting. Hey, Pam, good morning. How are you, friend? Let's see. Mama Wheeler is in the house. Mom, do you like my new little Terrific Tuesday sticker? I thought that little bunny was pretty darn cute. And I thought, you know what? He'd make a cute little Tuesday sticker. Let's change that up. So, anyhow, Mom, I did some crazy stuff yesterday. I went on live on Monday morning. It was a spur of the moment kind of thing. And I went on last night. I looked for Maggie. Maggie normally goes on Monday nights, but she was taking a break. And so, anyhow, Mr. Wheeler had a long day at work and he crashed out early, was in bed. And so I was like, maybe I'll go on live and say hi to our friends. Shannon said, I just found you. Do you teach people how to crochet? Good morning, Shannon. Welcome, or good afternoon, depending on what part of the country you're in, or the world you're in, I should say. But yes, I do try to teach crochet stitches. So we're going to get into this pattern a little bit this morning. I'm ready to turn my work. Right now, I'm working on the back. So we're going to flip over to the front here. And we're going to, yes, talk about these stitches. So I normally come live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. If you are new to my channel, my name is April and I'm a hobby crocheter, but I do like to kind of explain what I've got going on my hook and talk about different stitches. Now, this is a repeating pattern that I'm doing, and this is just something that I made up. So it's not something that there's a written pattern for or anything, but what I did at the very beginning down here, I chained 123 chains. Then I turned my work and I used one of those chains as a turning chain. And then I did 122 half double crochets into that turning chain. Then I came back and I did a single crochet into the front loop of my work, which left behind this little row of texture here. Then I did a crisscross double crochet, followed by a single crochet, followed by a half double. And then I'm just repeating that. So you can kind of see how these are stacking up on top of each other. And so now we've just turned our work. So if we look here, here's that row of texture that I just did. So now I'm ready to start this row of crisscrossed double crochets. So the first thing that I do is I chain two. And this chain of two counts as my first double crochet. Then I go into the next stitch and I do another double crochet. So essentially we have two here. This one acts as one. And the reason I like to do this when I'm doing my baby blankets is this gives me a way to come back and attach a border to the very edge of this blanket. So if you can imagine, I would attach the edge right here. And that way the crisscrosses don't run right up to that border. And so this whole edge will get a border. I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably some kind of a ruffle, maybe a little scallop, whatever. We'll see. To be determined. So anyhow, hey, Westy Lover, good morning. Valdlox is here. Good morning. Cheryl, how are you? Maggie said she crashed and fell asleep. Yesterday at work was a long, long day. I know Maggie had a lot of meetings yesterday, and my customers, I'll tell you, they were in rare form yesterday. Hey, Kelly, I'm using a size G6 hook this morning. Hannah is in the house. Good morning or good afternoon, Hannah. How are you, friend? Yarn color is gorgeous. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a really pretty yarn. If you're just coming on, this is Lion Brand Ice Cream yarn. And this is the colorway Parfait. Really pretty yarn. I've almost finished the first skein. I've got this little bit of yellow right here. And then I'm going to have to start up a new skein. So you can see I'm down to the end of my first skein. But I got quite a bit of this blanket done with the first skein. So I'd imagine it's probably going to use like maybe 2 or 2.5 for a baby blanket. Is my guess. Kind of to be determined. I like to do my baby blankets about 30 to 36 inches is kind of the size that I shoot for. Hannah is joining her winter squares. Roslyn is here from Australia. Becky, did you catch that yarn? Let me know. I can show it again if you just hopped on, and I can certainly show it. But really pretty yarn. I'm just letting the colors flow. Okay, so now that we have our two double crochets, what I am going to do is I'm going to skip one stitch, and I'm going to go into this next stitch with a double crochet. And so you can see right here, if you turn your work, there are the two loops of our stitch. So if you're new to crochet, the top of the stitches always have two loops like this. And sometimes you go under both loops. Sometimes you go only under the front loop. Sometimes you only go under the back loop. So the one that is facing me is called the front loop. The one that is away from me, this one here, is the back loop. In this case, I'm going to go under both of those loops with a double crochet. Okay, so the way I do this is I yarn over, go under both loops. I grab up my loop. Now I have three. Yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over and pull through two. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to pick up this stitch that I missed and I'm going to work a double crochet. So again, I yarn over, I go under those two loops, push your hook out all the way through to the other side, grab up your loop, and then you pull up your loop. So now you have three again. Yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over and pull through two. So there you can see they kind of crisscrossed. Now I'm going to do another one. So this is where the first one was. I'm going to skip this stitch and then go into the second stitch here. So again, double crochet under both loops, double crochet. Now what we have to do is we have to come back and pick up this stitch that we missed. So again, yarn over, under both loops all the way through, grab your loop up. Now we have three, yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. So really, if you have mastered how to do a double crochet, you can do this crisscross and add a little texture to your projects. Deborah, I'm not going live in the evenings. Yesterday was kind of a bonus day. So I know some of you guys caught me going live. It was kind of a one-off thing. I got a wild hair. What can I say? Hey Amanda, good morning. How are you? Queen 530 said is she's working on a Afghan for her granddaughter. Awesome. So much fun. I don't have any grandkids or kids, so I make a lot of stuff for mine for donation, but I'll tell you what, if I had a grandkid, you know I would be making them something. Probably a lot of somethings. So, anyhow, there's our double. Now we're going to come back and pick up this one that we missed. Yarn over, right down under both bars all the way through, grab up that loop, yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over and pull through two. Moving to our next, skip a stitch into the second, yarn over, right under both loops, and do our double crochet. Coming back, picking up the one that we missed, yarn over, right under both loops all the way through, grab up that yarn. Now we have three loops, yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. And I'm just going to keep repeating this all the way across the blanket, skipping one into the next, double crochet, and then come back and pick up that one that you missed. Now, when you pull this loop up, you do have to kind of pull it up a little bit tall because you are crossing over. Okay, so you want to give yourself a little room, not super tall, but just a smidge larger than you would normally go. Okay, skip a stitch into the next, double crochet. Thank you so much for the follow this morning. Welcome, 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 new friends. We are glad to have you. If you are new to my channel, my name is April, and we are certainly glad that you are here this morning. Let's see. Hillary said I started the Serdar Summer Crochet Along last week. My first one. I'm excited. That is very cool, Hillary. Serdar, for those that don't know, is over on YouTube. They have a wonderful channel and they do some crochet alongs. And their blankets, I would say, are probably more of an intermediate level, but they are beautiful, the projects. And so they are certainly one to follow over there on YouTube. I follow them. I have not made anything of theirs yet, but it's definitely been on my lookout, on the list to watch out for because you never know. I might someday, uh, get that going, get that on my hook. Mellow Crochet started it as well. Maybe I'll have to watch that video on my lunch break today at work or something. Hey, Danny Lee, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the nice to meet yous. Thank you guys all so much for tapping your screen. 7,000 likes already this morning over on TikTok. Very, very cool. And thank you for the thumbs up over on YouTube if you're watching me over there. Appreciate you guys being here with me this morning. Granny is here. Good morning, Granny 61. Um, I'm almost to the end of my yarn here. Look, a little bit more, just a little bit more, and we're going to have to get out a new skein. Always excited to start a new skein. Hey, Donna, how are you this morning? So glad to have you. Hillary said, excited for this week's pattern. I'm definitely going to have to check it out. Hillary, you're getting me excited over here. So I'm definitely going to have to check that out. Does the color change work out even, Mary? This is how it's working out. If we kind of scroll back here and look at the full thing, it's it's kind of staggering a little bit. So you can see here, I had more of the orange here as it transitioned to yellow, and then it kind of moved back a little bit, and then it's all the way over here now as I'm working on the yellow. But for the most part, when I'm doing the half double crochets, the blue is kind of all in the same spot and the crisscrosses. So I think it's working up really, really nice. I'm pleased with the color changes. I think it's working out nice. Melissa, this is a baby blanket that I'm working on. Sarah said, I really want to make a rectangular waffle blanket in the round. Have you made one, April? I certainly have. Sarah, I actually have one in the works right now. I can't reach it. But if you go over to my YouTube, Wheeler 8 Acres, go over to the live tab. When you look at my profile, you'll see um, a little tab that says videos, then shorts, and then live. Look on the live tab, Sarah, and there is one there. It's like a green and purple blanket. I was making it with I have some of the yarn here, but this is the colors that it looks like. Look for this blanket, and that is a waffle blanket. I'll tell you, that blanket is working up really slow, but I worked on it almost all day Saturday, so I am making pretty good progress on it. But the waffle stitch kind of is a bit of a yarn eater, but it's a nice and squishy blanket. I think the waffle blanket would be really cool for a kid's blanket because I just want to snuggle it. You know what I mean? You know how you have those blankets that just have like really cool texture? Donna, I'm working on a baby blanket this morning, and the yarn that I'm using is the ice cream yarn in the colorway Parfait. It's manufactured by Lion Brand. You can get the yarn off of Amazon. Michael sells it. Hirschner's has it. You can also buy it from the Lion Brand website. So lots of possibilities, really bright, fun, vibrant colors. Now, this is a 3-weight yarn, and I'm using a size G6 hook for this project. Normally, the yarn calls for an H8 hook. However, I really like using a G6 whenever I work with this yarn. So it's just a personal preference, but you certainly could use an H hook as well. It would just make it a little like more airy and as you're working on it, a little looser stitches. Lynn is here from England. Welcome, Lynn. So nice to have you here. Kathleen, this is the yarn. This is what it looks like. Lion Brand ice cream yarn. They have lots of different flavors. And you know what's really cute? I was watching Creative Grandma the other day, and Cody was showing some of this yarn. I don't know if it was a recent video, but he said, "Did you ever notice that the ice cream in the cup is actually yarn balls? Isn't that cute? What a clever marketing little tactic! I think that's really cute. So really pretty. This is the colorway Parfait, and I'm going to be getting ready to start another skein. I've got just a little bit left here, almost to the end. Look at that. Let's see. Oh, wait until the next scene to see what the pattern gives you. I know. So that's going to be the challenge now when I start my next skein is I'm going to have to try to do some color matching here. So Melissa said, can you show the stitch a little slower? I absolutely can. So let's start one out fresh here. Sarah, thank you so much for being a member of the fan club. Rachel is here this morning. Hey, Rachel. Mama Wheeler says, "Got to make more waffles for breakfast." I know we've been kidding around because a couple weeks ago I worked on that waffle blanket, and Mama Wheeler, for those that didn't hear the story, she's so cute. My mom said, "Hang on, I'll do the stitch slower in just a minute," but it's story time, okay? For those that didn't hear, so Mama Wheeler gets on the chat and she says, "I gotta run." And so everybody says bye to Mama Wheeler. I'm about halfway through the live or three-quarters the way through the live, and I'm working on that waffle stitch blanket. So I don't know if she texted me or called me later, but my, my mom goes, uh, she goes, "I have to tell you," she goes, "I had to go make waffles because you were talking about the waffle blanket." And so I am officially a self-proclaimed waffle influencer. Mama Wheeler went and got her waffles, and so I've been having waffles too. A couple weeks ago, I had waffles with strawberries on them because I've been working on that waffle blanket, and I've just been I've just been in the mood for waffles. What can I say? So too funny. While I open up this new skein, mods, could you repin Rachel up there for me? Let me give Rachel a little shout out and love this morning. Y'all, Rachel on TikTok is another marvelous personality and creator that is here on TikTok. If you're not following Rachel, she's a lot of fun. She does different blankets and amigurumis, lots of different projects. So I really encourage you guys to give her a follow. Again, like Maggie, you won't be disappointed. Really enjoy her lives. Sparkly Witch is here this morning. Good morning. How are you? Okay, well, one of these has got to be the end. There it is. Found the end. So let's see how this color is going to match up as I start this next skein. So right now, I just finished some yellow here, and now I'm working to orange. So the question becomes, am I good to just tie on this orange? I'm kind of feeling like maybe I can, but I might need to actually go a little farther in my skein and get more to where the orange is ending since I already did all this yellow. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to control this color and make it so that it matches kind of where I'm leaving off with the other skein. So let's pull some more out here. Here it's starting to change to pink. So if we look at my row below, here's my orange, and then it transitioned right here to pink. So I think this is actually a better starting place with my yarn is in a little further in. And let's pull some of this and kind of get myself situated here. And then I'm going to snip off some of this other and try to get these colors to match up a little better. You don't have to do this. You could just let it flow. I'm a little OCD when it comes to stuff like this. I say a little, I might be a lot OCD when it comes to stuff like this. I really like the colors to kind of flow and match up. And so that's all I'm trying to do right now. So trying to pull back this orange. I think I'm getting close here to kind of where we could start this. There's where it kind of changes from yellow into this orange. So let's snip off here. Let's do this here. I'm going to put this that I'm not going to use right now to the side. Now, this won't go to waste. I will come back and use this for something here. And so now I'm going to tie on with my next color and we'll talk about these stitches. But let me get resituated here and say hi to everybody. Hooked by Rosie is here. Good morning, Jackie. How are you? The stitch is so cute. Thank you so much. What is the name of this stitch? This is the crisscrossed double crochet. Crisscross double crochet. Dana is here. Good morning, Dana. Let's see. The power of suggestion. Yeah, the waffles thing is the power of suggestion. Terrific Tuesday. I love that little bunny. He's going to be around for a while, guys. Sandy is here. Hi, Sandy. How are you? Lynn said, I love this blanket. I just finished a baby blanket. Nice, nice. I like working on baby blankets. It's a really fun project. Connie said, very pretty colors. Thank you so much. Fernaz said, what are you making? I'm making a baby blanket. So I will go over all of these details in just a second. Kelly is here. Good morning. Paula, how are you? Crisscross applesauce. Absolutely. Marla says, do you have this pattern posted anywhere? So I worked on this blanket about 2 months ago, and there is a video on my live or on the live tab of my YouTube where you can see me working on these stitches. Now, this morning, I'm also live on YouTube, and this video will be published back out. So I'm going to run through all the details and then we're going to talk about these crisscross stitches, okay? So the yarn that I'm using this morning is Lion Brand Ice Cream yarn. We're starting a brand new skein. And this is the colorway Parfait. And this is a 3-weight yarn. It's a lightweight yarn. It calls for an H8 hook. However, I am using a G6 hook this morning. 100% acrylic, machine washable, and dryable. So it's great for baby blankets. It is pretty soft. It's really nice to work with. A lot of people make baby blankets with this, or they make like hexagon cardigans or other blankets. Lots of different things you can make, but really pretty yarn. So that's what I'm using, and I'm just letting the colors flow this morning. Okay. The way that I started this blanket is I did a starting chain way back here at the beginning, and I chained 123. Then I turned my work and I worked a half double crochet into all of the stitches. The 123rd stitch I counted as my turning chain. So I ended up with 122, an even number of the half doubles. Then I came back and I did a single crochet in the front loop, which left behind this row of texture. Then I did the crisscross double crochets. Then I did a single crochet, and then I did a half double. So this half double and this half double are the same. This is basically a repeat. So you can see I'm stacking these little groups on top of each other. So it's a very easy repeating pattern that I can remember. So where we're at right now is we are working on the crisscrosses. Can I see the label one more time? Sure, sure. Lion Brand ice cream. If you want to do a screenshot, really pretty. This is the colorway Parfait. It is a very happy color, Mom. Really, really happy color. Um, okay, so what I need to do now is I need to get my new skein of yarn attached here. Now, a lot of people like to do knots, and that is totally fine if you prefer to knot your crochet. Lost my hook. Here it is. For me personally, I try not to knot my yarn, and the way that I tie in is let me get this a little tighter. I'm doing my double crochet. Now, when I get it to this point, I do not finish this stitch. I leave this tail hanging out. And then what I do is I attach my next skein of yarn by bringing this through. And then I have both of these tails. Okay. And I just let them hang out the back. Now I will go back and I will weave those in a whole bunch of times and make it very secure. Then I yarn over and I'm finishing my crisscrossed double crochet. Now, when you do that, sometimes these loops get a little loose. You just have to kind of pull them. And like I said, I'll go back and I'll weave those in. Now, you certainly could do a knot here if you feel more comfortable with that. That is your personal preference, however you wish to join your yarn. This is just the way that I do it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the next stitch and I'm looking to the second stitch here. You can kind of turn your work and you can see the 2 loops of these stitches, okay? So when you look at the top of a crochet stitch, it has 2 loops. You can see the one that faces me is the front loop. The one that is away from me, this is called the back loop. For this stitch, I'm going under both the loops, both the bars, and I'm doing a double crochet. So skip one into the next, double crochet. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to pick up this stitch that I skipped and I'm going to do a double crochet. So I yarn over, put my hook all the way through my work under both loops, and I grab up a loop. So now we have three. Oh, Gen X girl, thank you for the party poppers. Appreciate that. Yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over, pull through two. That makes your little crisscross. Flurry said, another Bama crocheter. Yes, indeed. If you are from Alabama, I am in Rainsville. If you know where that's at, we're in Northeast Alabama, just outside of Fort Payne, kind of in between Fort Payne and Scottsboro, kind of up in the top corner of the state. We're about 50 minutes south of Chattanooga is kind of where I live at. We moved here from Arizona about a little over 4 years ago now. So, anyhow, Leah is in the house. Hey, Leah, how are you? So, again, skip one into the next, double crochet, yarn over, and do your double crochet. Now we're going to come back and pick up this one that we missed. So, again, yarn over. We're doing a double crochet, put my hook all the way through under both loops out the back, grab our loop. Now we have three, yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over and pull through two. So there's our little crisscross. Um, Dana says, my nephew lives in Florence. Um, it's so funny. When I lived in Arizona, in my mind, I really thought Alabama landscape was going to be like Iowa, where it's like flat, kind of corn fields, lots of fields, but very flat, like landscape. And boy, was I surprised when I actually came to Alabama and actually saw the landscape is so different here. Really, we're on what's called Sand Mountain now. It's not like an Arizona mountain that I'm used to. I know you guys all think Arizona is desert, but Arizona gets snow for those that don't know. And when I lived in Arizona growing up, where Mama Wheeler lives, we were at 6,000 feet elevation in Arizona. So up in the pines, and we would get snow. I lived in a little town called Prescott, and I'll tell you, Alabama, where I'm at, really does kind of feel a little Arizona-ish with the landscape. We've got the pine trees, and we're not nearly as high up. I'm only at like 1,400 elevation, but it's really pretty here, and I just absolutely love it. So anyhow, sorry, little squirrel ran by. But Flurry, I don't know if you said where you were at, but that's where I am located. Melissa, I'm going to go slow again in just a few. Um, Y'all, we've got a lot of people watching here, so bear with me. The comments are fast and furious this morning. Our mods will certainly try to pin the comments if I miss something, but if I'm talking about stitches, feel free, if I miss your comment, feel free to ask again. I'm not trying to overlook you and neglect you. I do my very best to talk about the stitches and answer all the questions. I did add a new mod to our channel, Leapin' Llamas. I went live yesterday in the morning and at night, and so our friend Leah is giving a hand with some of the moderation. So now we have Anvil, Gen X, and Leah who's helping out, and I really appreciate that. They help me out. They really are marvelous, all of them. Sarcastic Stitch, how are you? Good morning, friend. Dana said, I love Chattanooga, spent some time there in 2005. Chattanooga is a great place to visit. I love going and doing like the river walk there, and it's just really a nice little town. I like there's a little restaurant bar there that overlooks the water, and I like their fish tacos. It's a whole thing. I like going to Chattanooga whiskey. We've done the little tour of the whiskey and everything. Really fun town to go visit. Joyce said Prescott is not so little anymore. I know. Leah said, be right back. Got to call the doctor for the sick boy. Oh, I'm sorry. Your little one is sick. He just had a birthday. Leah just had a birthday for her son. So I'm going to talk about these stitches. Fernaz, let me, what was your question here? I kind of missed it. Is it a repeat of 3 rows? So the way that I did this is I did an even number of stitches, and then I chained 1. I can see Diesel in the bird feeder. He's trying to get the peanuts out of the bird feeder right now. Oh, that boy. Oh, that boy. So I chained 122. When I do my crisscrosses, they take 2 stitches. So that's why I needed an even number. But when I chained 123 because I actually started with a half double into my chain. So that one extra stitch ended up being my turning chain. And then I did the half doubles. So the way this pattern works that I'm doing is I'm doing a half double, then I'm doing a single crochet into the front loop. Then I'm doing the crisscross. So this is row number 3. That's what I'm doing right now. Now I'm going to follow with a single crochet. Then I'm going to be back to the half double. So half double, single in the front loop, crisscrossed, and then single. So that is the repeat. And you can see here where I'm just stacking these on top of each other. Okay. So to show you guys the crisscross again, for those that are wondering how to do this stitch, this is made with double crochets. Okay. So what I do is I skip one into the next, I do a double crochet. Now what I need to do is I come back and I pick up this stitch that I missed. And what I mean by pick that up is I'm going to work a double crochet crisscrossed over. Okay. So I yarn over, I go back to the one that I missed, and I went all the way through. Grab your loop up. I kind of pull it up a little tall, just a little smidge more than I normally would. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. That is what creates your crisscross. Now, it looks really cool from the back also. So this is what it looks like on the back. So you still have this really kind of neat texture happening, and it looks great from both sides. Flurry says the urge to make baby blankets, but I need to finish my other projects. So, Flurry, I feel you. This week, I'm working on 2 projects that I started a couple months ago. So you can actually find me on YouTube working on this blanket on the live tab, the live replay from a couple months ago. But I dug it out, and I'm trying to work on some of my works in progress, and kind of be disciplined. It's definitely a challenge for me to be disciplined. There's lots of squirrels that run by. I see pretty yarns. I get off on these tangents of working on different projects and stuff. But anyhow, this is a project I started a couple weeks ago. Angel's mom said, "Is that a blessing blanket? Love the yarn." It certainly could be. I would maybe do it with white. I think it would look really pretty with white also. But so many possibilities. Use your imagination, and so many possibilities. Joyful Rosetta, good morning. How are you, friend? Um, Leah said allergies. Oh, okay, that's good. So maybe he'll be feeling better soon. This is the yarn I'm using today, guys. This is the Lion Brand ice cream yarn, and this is the colorway Parfait. I'm letting the colors flow. Okay, so just letting it flow. Joyful Rosetta, thank you for the heart me and supporting the team. I appreciate that. Arlene said at my house we call it chasing butterflies. There you go. Same thing. Same thing, friend. We have a lot of squirrels here. You guys hear me talk about my bird feeders, and I always think about how squirrels get distracted and run around and go hide a little peanut here, and then they find a pecan. And ooh, level 8. Thank you, thank you. Y'all are moving up. Guys, if you are sending gifts and heart me's, make sure on TikTok you come up here and click the little button and make sure you're collecting your points for they before they used to auto collect, but make sure you are collecting those. Wow, gift goal already met. Guys, thank you. And 20,000 likes already. How amazing. We're on a roll this morning, I'll tell you. We are on a roll. Leah, I'll catch you later if you're going to be on. Queen, if you are sending gifts or heart me's on TikToks, they change it right up here where there's the little heart. If you send something, you have to click on the heart and then you kind of scroll down and you can see where you collect points. And that's what helps you level up. So it's before they used to auto collect, but I just try to mention it because some of you might not know about that feature now. Seeker said, "What are the stitch markers for?" Great question. We actually need to do some stitch markers here. So I don't count my rows as I'm working across on all of the levels. But what I do is I count my crisscrosses. So I started here and I count across, and that is 25 crisscrosses. Working my way across, there's another 25. And then at the very end here, we have an additional 9. So as I'm working along, what I do is I count these. So talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So then what I do is I take my stitch marker and I move this up. So this way, as I'm working along, I don't have to count all the rows, but this one row keeps me honest, so to speak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So now I should have 9 as I am finishing out this row. And I'm going to explain this crisscross all the way across. Okay, so here we go. Crisscross double crochet. We're going to skip one into the next. You're going to do a double crochet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come back and pick up this stitch that we missed. And I'm going to put a double crochet in it. So I wrap my yarn around, go underneath both loops all the way through, grab up my loop. Now we have 3. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So that is your crisscross double crochet. Got my yarn tangled up here. Okay, let's do another one. So here we go. Skip one into the next, double crochet. Now we're going to come back and pick up this one we missed, okay? Yarn over, under both loops all the way through. Grab that loop up. Now we have 3. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Skip one into the next, double crochet. Here's this one we missed, pick him up. Yarn over all the way through, grab up that loop. Now we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Again, skipping one into the next, double crochet. Kelly says, so you are technically not skipping any stitches. That is correct, Kelly, or Kels. Not skipping any. So now I'm going to come back and I'm going to get this one that I missed. Yarn over, go backwards into that one, all the way through, grab up my loop. Now we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Skip one into the next, double crochet. Now come back and get this little guy here. Yarn over, again, just a double crochet all the way through. You're kind of encasing this stitch within your double crochet. Pull up, now we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Again, skip one into the next, double crochet. Pick up this little guy, double crochet all the way through. Grab that yarn up, now we have 3, and complete your double crochet. So if your counts get off on this stitch, most likely what happens is when you're working along, do you see how this original stitch right here is pulling back this way? What will sometimes happen is instead of skipping this one, you think in your mind, I'm going to skip this one. This one technically has a stitch in it. So then as you're working along, you might get yourself shifted a little bit. That has happened to me. And so that's why I use my stitch markers, just to make sure everything is working out properly. That way I don't get all these rows stacked up and then all of a sudden my blanket is going like at an angle and growing crooked. Okay. So skip one into the next, double crochet, come back and do a double crochet in this one we missed. Yarn over all the way through, grab that loop, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two. I have one more to do here. Skip one into the next. And I know you're thinking to yourself, well, really, she's got more stitches here. Why is it only one more? And the reason why, when I do my crisscrosses, you can see here of the row below, I actually end with a double crochet and a double crochet into each of the last two stitches. And the reason why I do that is because I like to come back and add a border here. So I will come back with probably a scallop or a shell or some kind of ruffle edging here, and attach right there. So that way I don't end up with a crisscross. I'll end up with a double crochet that'll kind of help to close that gap. Now, you don't have to do that. You could end with your crisscross. What happens is if you pretend like the border is here, what I have found is I don't like how if I attach the border here, it would leave this big hole. And so that's why I do the extra double crochet. So essentially the border will be here. This double crochet will just be chilling here and it will help to kind of close that space and make it a little more uniform so I don't end up with a big hole there on my blanket. So that is why I do it. Again, just a personal preference. You do not have to do that, but you certainly could if you would like. And so that's kind of why I do what it is I do. Um, Emma said, "Thank you. I've learned something new on my journey of learning crochet." Emma, thank you so much for that comment. That is certainly why I come on here and do this, guys, is I try to, just share the stitches. I don't consider myself an expert crocheter. I'm a hobby crocheter, but I have been crocheting for 41 years. And so I do know quite a few stitches and stuff, but there's lots of different ways to do things. And just because I'm doing it this way doesn't necessarily mean it's the only way or the right way. You certainly have to experiment and try things for yourself. Sue, good morning. How are you? I hope you're having a great week so far. Arlene said that is a pretty pattern. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's see. Pam said, I never thought about that. Thought about what? I missed what that ties to, Pam. Let me know. Folks, we have a lot of people on the chat this morning. If I miss your comment this morning, please, please do not take it personally. I am I'm trying to keep up as best as I can. Uh, uh, NSYN Creative, good morning. How are you, friend? Let's see. I'm learning in memory of my grandma. Oh, Emma, I think all of our hearts just like got excited for you. That is so, so cool. So cool. I learned from my mom. If you're new to my channel, my mom is Mama Wheeler, who you see on the chat here on TikTok and YouTube. Uh, Sharing this morning. That is my mom. She's who taught me how to crochet. And I also learned from my grandma. So my mom taught me the basics, and I would go hang out with my grandma and crochet. And so that's where I learned. And most of us have a great story of who we learned crochet from. It's really cool to hear people's stories, or as you mentioned, learning in memory of your grandma. I just know that she's looking down and oh so incredibly proud of you. Crafted by KF said, "Good morning. Was here last night. Yes, I did a little uh, bonus live, if you will. So a lot of you guys caught me last night on the live. Um, It was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. So anyhow, now that I've done my crisscross double crochets, I'm going to work a single crochet into the top of each of these stitches. I'm going under both loops. So I'm just doing a single crochet and will work my way all the way around, all the way along, not around. I work so many things in the round, I get in the habit of saying that. But I'm just going to do a single crochet and cruise along here. Then I'm going to be turning my work and going to be working a half double. Brady said, "You are the first person I found when I started, and now I'm halfway through an infinity granny square blanket." Brady, how exciting! I'm giving you a round of applause. That is so so cool. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. I love hearing the stories, guys. This is why I do this. You know, I work full time, but my mission here, why I like to come on, is I like to inspire people to crochet or maybe help somebody with a stitch. Um, I saw someone posted 40 years does make me an expert. You know, I'm learning new things every day. I learn new stitches, I learn new techniques. I try to um, kind of share how I'm doing my stuff. And Seeker says, "Did you chain one as you turn?" And actually, let me rewind. Let me frog this out and talk about this as I turn. So, a lot of times people will chain one when they turn their work. Then they will work their single crochet in to that stitch. And what that does for me is it kind of puts this added loop right here. Can you see how it puts this here? And it kind of adds some bulk to the edge. Now, it's not that like critical or a deal breaker because I am going to be adding a border here. But actually, the way that I work a single crochet when I turn is I don't chain. I just go right into that stitch and I do my single crochet. Now, if you are just learning to crochet, what you would want to do, this is that stitch that I just made. Help yourself put a stitch marker in that very first stitch. That way, when you come back around and turn your work, it will help you to identify where you started. I've been doing this, quite a while, so I don't necessarily need that stitch marker, but let's leave it in here so that when we come back around, you can kind of see how that's going to work out. But now I'm just going under both loops and I'm doing a single crochet. Okay, and I'm going to be working that the entire way down. Um, uh, CH Mama says, "I love that yarn." Yes, isn't it pretty? If you are just joining, this is Lion Brand Ice Cream in the colorway Parfait. I've got a little yarn barf here. I'm just starting this skein out, but really, really pretty. And I'm just letting my colors flow. Grammy Juju is here from Canada. Good morning. How are you? Nice to have you here this morning. Let's see. Um, Sorry, guys. Let me catch up here. Just real quick. The chat is very active today, so I'm a little behind on the comments. I'm trying to get caught back up. Paula said that is a beautiful blanket. Thank you, Paula, so much. Wow, you guys already did the gift goal. I didn't even. Oh no, it's still going. I don't think. I think we still have room on the gift goal. We're doing little lightning bolts right now. Thank you guys all so much for the gifts and let's see. Karina, hey, how are you, friend? Karina says we were in the middle of dinner. I missed it. Yeah, I got a wild hair and I went live last night and a lot of you guys caught me. So it was kind of fun. Let's see. User says, "I love this pattern. How can I get this pattern?" So, user, I'm actually live this morning on TikTok and on YouTube, and I worked on this blanket a couple months ago as well. You can find a replay of the live on my YouTube page, but I just made this up, and I'm doing several rows of stitches. And I'm just repeating those over and over again in little groups, and I'm working on a baby blanket. So you can find me on YouTube. My handle over there is Wheeler 8 Acres. Vivian said, "Good morning from Alexandria, Virginia. How are you? Good morning. Good morning." Lots of people here today. Uh, so anyhow, I will when I get to the end of this row, I will give you a summary again of all of the rows that I'm doing, and you guys can maybe take note or go back and rewatch the YouTube. Lynn said, another Alabama crocheter. So glad I stumbled onto your live. Hey, Alabama friend, I love it. We had another Alabama gal here this morning. I relocated to Alabama 4 years ago from Arizona. And my husband and I, we live in Northeast Alabama. We are in Rainsville, if you're familiar with the Northeast part of the state. We're just outside of Fort Payne. We're in between Fort Payne and Scottsboro, are kind of our main towns. And we absolutely love it here. It has been a dream come true for us. I do come on live and crochet every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. And I do work full time. This is my hobby, but we have a fabulous group of friends here. So um, I'm seeing lots of new followers. Welcome all the new friends. If you are new to my channel, my name is April. And as I mentioned, we have a wonderful group here. So if you are seeing me on the FYP this morning, don't be bashful. Give a follow. You'll definitely want you'll pass on by me and then you'll be like, where was that crochet chick? I wanted to watch her again. I say I'm a chick. I'm gonna be 50 this year, but I still think I'm kind of a hip and cool girl. So feel free to give a follow, hop on in, say hi to our friends here. We would love to have you. It's a fabulous group. Get your coffee or beverage, whatever you like in the morning or in the afternoon if you're across the pond, and just sit back and have some relaxing crochet time. Now, whenever I come live, I do update my link tree, and you can find that on my TikTok profile. If you are watching me on YouTube, I put links to the yarn that I'm using in the video as well, so you can find that and reference it later. And I always put, like tomorrow's project, I'm going to be working on a kid's blanket. And so if you wanted to look ahead, you could actually see that project is on the link tree as well. Okay. So you can certainly find all the information. But tomorrow will be a really fun day as well. Tomorrow is the study of snow, which is a pattern by Mikey Selick at the Crochet Crowd. And it is a beautiful pattern. I will go over all of the stitches. I will teach about how to read a diagram if you've been interested in learning how to do that. And then Thursday, you guys aren't going to want to miss Thursday. A lot of you have been asking me to make some amigurumis, the little easy ones. So little Diesel's got his hair on my bumblebee. But tomorrow or Thursday, we're making the little bumblebee. Look at his cute little wings flapping. So, so cute. So this is on deck for Thursday, okay? So anyhow, that pattern is hooked by Robin, and we will be working on that. Uh, Let me scroll up here. Rocket Girl, a good afternoon from the UK. So nice to have you here. Um, Seeker said, when making a baby yarn, do you have to use a specific yarn or can you use any DK? So for my baby yarns, I like to use something that is machine washable and dryable. Now, I do have, why won't this let me reset this? Let me try again. 1 second here, folks. Let me try to set up a new gift goal. There we go. Now it's working. Let's do, how about some tiny dinies? Um, so when I like to get something that's machine washable and dryable, and it just makes it easier for the parents when they're, if something gets on the baby blanket, they can just, pitch it in with the laundry and wash it up. So I definitely try to find something like that. Now, this is a 3-weight yarn that I'm using. I also use 4-weight yarn. And one of my favorites to use is the Bernat Softy Baby Cotton. It's a cotton and acrylic blend. And it is also machine washable and dryable. I really like that yarn, and you'll see me use that for baby blankets. Now, the caveat to that yarn is it is rather expensive, and I'm kind of a cheapskate, but I do splurge sometimes and get the more expensive yarns. So that one I only get it when it's on sale, and it's like, I don't know, like $6 a skein, and I usually wait till I can get it to like, 3.75 or $4. Use a promo code or coupon or something. I also use Karen Simply Soft. Now, Karen Simply Soft, a lot of people don't like it because that yarn does really split, but it works up beautiful for baby blankets. It has this like sheen to it, like kind of a shine. It is really, really pretty. And there are a lot of yarns that are specifically labeled and marketed for baby blankets. Hobby Lobby, if you're a Hobby Lobby fan, has um I can't think of what it's called. I know the colorway is Angel. Oh, y'all help me. I've used it a lot. I really like that yarn as well. It's like, is it Precious? I can't think of it. But anyhow, look for a yarn that is labeled for baby blankets. Now, this Lion Brand yarn, I'm going to turn my work. We're going to go over all these stitches. So um, bear with me here as I re-get my bearings, friends, and we'll go. Baby Bee, Queen at 5:30 to the rescue. Round of applause for Queen. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. What would I do without you all when I can't remember these things? Elena said, "What is the wrap on your hook? Metal hurts my fingers, and I think this would help." So I use vintage hooks. This is one of my favorite hooks right here. This is my Susan Bates, my Lucky 29 center. This hook is probably from the 50s or um, 60s, like late 50s, I would imagine, maybe early 60s. This is a size G6 hook, and it's made in the USA. Now, this is an inline hook. Can you see? I've worn the finish off of it. I've used this hook so much. And those that did before me. But this is the hook that I learned with, are these Susan Bates inline hooks, and I really like them. Now, I've tried all of the different grippies. I've tried the pencil grips. I've tried the beauty blenders. I've tried the official crochet ones that you can buy for hooks, and I don't like them. What I use, another big spender item here. You know, when you go and get your blood drawn and they wrap you up with this tape, this is called Coban. They have it in different colors. They've got purple and red and green. I wrap this around my crochet hook. So when my hooks get kind of grungy like this is not really dirt for my hands. What happens is as I'm crocheting, it picks up the yarn fibers because it gets a little sticky. So I take this off, I pitch this and throw that away. Since it's a little grungy, we'll make a new one. I put my yarn or my hook right here and I loop this over and kind of squish this onto itself. It sticks to itself, but it's not like really sticky. Okay. Then I take off a bit of this, cut it off. And then what I do is I twirl my crochet hook and I make it go at an angle. And this way I can make the grippy the exact size and shape that I want. And then I come back and stick it onto itself. So you can get this at Amazon, any pharmacy, Wally World, Walgreens, whatever. You can totally do that. Puzzle. Last night I totally missed my puzzle. Oh, thank goodness it was a sliding puzzle. I didn't have that twirling thing. So anyhow, that is what I use on my hooks. It's called Coban. Okay. Um, let's see. Emma said, "So glad I found you so easy to follow. Unlike others I've watched, I really try to explain." Nancy's from Hazel Green, Alabama. Hey, friend, how are you? So many Alabama folks in the live this morning. Veronica says you are a totally hip chick, April. I like to think so. It's a mindset, Veronica, right? The yarn today is Lion Brand ice cream yarn in the colorway Parfait, and that is what I am working with. Do I need to reset the gift goal or am I just behind on these comments? I think I already reset it. I think I'm good. Um, Be beautiful. Yes, we're gonna make the bee on Thursday, guys. Okay. Let's see. Hillary said I've never made these before. Cool, cool. I think you're talking about the bee. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up. Leah, good luck at the doctor. I will see you in a while when you're on your live. Let's see. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the support, guys, this morning. And all the time. Y'all are amazing. Kimberly's here. How are you, Kimberly? Kelly says, I have no idea how to crochet, but that yarn is beautiful. It really is. It's got a little bit of a yarn barf here. We just are starting a new skein. But it's never too late to learn crochet. Take the plunge with us. It's so much fun. Let's see here. Almost there. 20 more comments, guys. Let me got to catch up here. User, I'm going to go through the pattern in just 1 second. Let's see. Callie says, I work full time, so the evenings are spent with my babies, and after bed, it's time to clean. Yeah, it's hard. Life gets in the way sometimes, right? Especially with babies at home. That's a lot of work. Maggie says, I love ice cream yarn. I have Parfait. Y'all, narrators, please, narrators, moderators, could you please pin Maggie there if you would? Maggie, if you're not following Maggie here on TikTok, guys, give her a follow. She is absolutely amazing. You will not be disappointed. We've got a lot of people in the live right now, 160 so. So if you are not following, I would encourage you to give her a follow. Andy Ryan is here from Walnut Grove, Alabama. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I reset the gift goal. UK, Nottinghamshire. Nice. People are from all over. Amy is here. How are you? Karen is in the house. Karen is another great friend to follow if you guys are not. Let's see. Another tip, rub your hooks with wax paper to help the yarn glide over the hook. Oh, I've never heard that before. Interesting, interesting. Valerie is here also from across the pond. Welcome from the UK. How are you? Can you make a flower rose? Um, I've made them like as a puff stitch, but not I don't think just like a regular flower. I make them like where they're flat. I don't have any examples next to me. You can see a lot of my projects over on my YouTube. My handle over there, guys, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube, is Wheeler 8 Acres. Okay, I'm going to turn my work. Lots of people are asking about the pattern. So let's do a recap here, guys, how I worked on this blanket. Debbie, good morning from Vegas. How are you? I started with a starting chain in an even number. In this case, I did 122. Then I chained an additional one as a turning chain. So I ended up doing 123, turned. Then I worked a half double into all of the chain stitches. I worked into the back bump, which left a nice finished edge here. Okay. After I finished my half double, I turned my work and then I worked a single crochet into the front loop and s- um, the third loop of my half double. Okay, that's what this row is here. Then I did a crisscrossed double crochet, followed by a single crochet, which is what we just finished. And then I did a half double. This half double is the same as this half double. So we're now ready to start the repeat. I'm repeating that over and over again. Okay. So again, I have turned my work. We're onto the front of the blanket now. So here was my crisscross. Here's my single crochet. Now I'm going to do the half double, and we're going to do the half doubles all the way across. The way that I do my half doubles, I do not chain or anything when I first start out. I yarn over, I go under both loops, grab up my loop. Now we have three, and yarn over and pull through all three. I'm working that into every single stitch across the row here. Okay. So nothing too complicated or fancy. A half double, again, going under both loops. You can see them there, working a half double all the way across. Hey, Mrs. Tommy is here. Good morning. Debbie said, Hey, April, nice to see lots of new friends too. Absolutely. We have such a wonderful group here. You know, if it wasn't for each of you guys that came on and watched me and chatted with our friends, now we have a lot of silent watchers too. And there's nothing wrong with silent watching. I know some people are at work and they're not in a position to type a comment or anything, I appreciate all of you guys. Those that are in the comments and chatting with friends, it just makes it so much fun in the mornings. But I will tell you, if it wasn't for each and every one of you that showed up every day and supported each other and supported me, this would be a pretty boring place to be. I would be here on my couch and I wouldn't be crocheting with all my friends because what would be the point, right? So it's not just about me here that's crocheting and doing all this jabberjawing and talking. It's about each one of you because let's face it, if it wasn't for you guys that were here tapping and commenting and supporting, there would be no point in me being here. So I say this and can't say it enough. I appreciate you all. You guys make this so much fun for me every day. And every day I look forward to coming on live and sharing a new work in progress and just really relaxing and enjoying uh, having all of you guys here. So, Dreamweaver is here this morning. Good morning, April. You are just amazing. Oh, thank you. You got me blushing, Dreamweaver. I'm usually a silent watcher because, yep, work. I know. I watch a lot of people's lives while I'm at work as well. I work remote from home. But sometimes I'm putting in orders and, on the phone with customers. If I'm on the phone with a customer, I have to pause whomever I'm watching. But I totally get it. So, anyhow, I know you guys can't all, tap and say hello and everything, but I do appreciate you being here. So, tomorrow I'm going to be working on a kid blanket and it is the study of snow. It's going to be a fun day. Tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of talk about stitches as I work on that blanket. Now, I am a little farther along on that project, but we'll talk about reading a stitch diagram if you've been interested in how to learn that. So, tomorrow will be a fun day as well. Sparky is in the house. Good morning, Sparky. How are you? Karina said, what kind of yarn did you use for your bee? So this bee that we're going to be working on Thursday, I used a size H hook there. I got my hook minder, so I'll remember. And I love this cotton yarn to make this bee. This is the colorway Curry, black and white. And I had this in my stash. Now, I was making halter tops a week or two ago, and I had the black and white out. And you guys have been asking me to make a little amigurumi. So this pattern is Hooked by Robin. But I'm going to start one of these on the live on Thursday, 7:30 Central Time. There is an event made. Feel free to go to my TikTok, or if you're over on YouTube, set yourself a reminder so that the system can remind you of when I am going to be live. Surwa said, hi, what are you making? I am working on a baby blanket, and this is with the Lion Brand Parfait yarn. It's called ice cream yarn. The colorway is Parfait. Carrie says, I listen as I work. I do dog grooming. Oh, so when Diesel is misbehaving, I bet it really sets all the dogs getting groomed off. This morning, little Diesel is outside. I put him out there with his busy bone. He's got his full pasture and yard to run around in. I did see him earlier on the camera. He was up in the bird feeder trying to get the peanuts. He does like peanuts, so anyhow. um I think I answered the question about the yarn, Madison. Let me know if you would like me to share the yarn again. Well, I'll just hold it up. Here's the yarn: Lion Brand ice cream. Lion Brand ice cream. Do yourself a little screenshot. There is a link on the link tree as well, if you want, but it's the colorway Parfait, and I'm just letting the colors flow. Um, Four Daughters is here. I'm addicted to making the virus blanket. Nice. I still have those going. I have two virus blankets in the works right now. I know you guys probably think I'm crazy with all my works in progress, but depending on what I'm in the mood for, I have to have different things to work on. So, the virus blanket is absolutely beautiful. Maggie inspired a lot of us to work on the virus blanket. I have finished two virus blankets and I have two more in the works. But it is a beautiful pattern by Fiber Spider. Is the what? Four Daughters is talking about, the virus blanket. There are links to the link tree. On my link tree, you just have to scroll down and you can find all the details about the virus blanket if you are interested in making one. But it is a beautiful, beautiful pattern. And there's a link for Fiber Spider's YouTube tutorial as well. So, friends, I'm gotta rub my nose here. I got some allergies. Let's see. Brady says, I hope I can catch your Thursday live when I join. I always get crook and can't figure it out why. Brady, if you want on TikTok, if you go to my profile, if you click, there's like you'll see like a bio where it says about me, and then the link tree at the bottom of that is the live events. I make events for every time I go live, unless it's a bonus live like we had last night. But the bumblebee, you can see him listed. There's a bee for Thursday's live, and you can actually subscribe to that and get notifications. So, like this morning, for the baby blanket, there were 28 people that had gone onto the live event and clicked that they wanted to attend. That way, when I went live, it gives them an alert and lets them know that I'm on live. Sometimes TikTok can be a little sporadic in the alerts, but also make sure you set your bell on the profile. So when you click on my profile, there's an option to turn on the bell, and you can turn it on for post or for lives, and you can set it to always or however you want to set that. But there's a few different ways. Same thing if you're watching me on YouTube this morning. I do make live events ahead, and you can, subscribe to it, and then it'll let you know. You can also rewatch the lives. So if you are new to my channel, this morning I'm on TikTok and on YouTube crocheting. And when I am done with the live this morning, you can rewatch on my live tab of my YouTube. My profile over there is Wheeler 8 Acres. Okay. So there's a video tab, a shorts tab, and then there's the live tab. So if you're wanting to see a lot of my work, it's on the live tab. Because I do work full time, honestly, I just don't have enough time to make videos of everything. But I love coming on live and chatting with everybody. So that's kind of how I work mine. Maybe someday when I'm retired, I'll have more time for making videos. I do my very best, but making content is quite a bit of work sometimes, and my hat's off to all those that make videos all the time. I know a lot of our friends here make videos, and I'm always so impressed because it does take some time to make those. So anyhow, pretty cool when I see your videos. Danny says my cat is being a menace this morning. Uh-oh. Amy, how many skeins for a baby blanket? I think I'm going to end up using like 2.5. So we just started a new skein. If we put a little tape measure on this. Anya, I am working on a baby blanket this morning. So I have crocheted. Let me turn this. I'm stacking these rows on top of each other. I have crocheted 12 inches was one skein of yarn. So 2 skeins in theory would be 24 inches. But I like my baby blankets to at least be somewhere between 30 and 36 inches. So 3 skeins would give me 36 inches. I'll probably do more like 2.5 skeins, like maybe get it to like 31 inches. Then what I can do is I will add a border all the way around this blanket. So if I look at it side to side, I chained 122 when I started this project, technically 123. But this one ended up a little wider, I think, than I wanted it. But let's just see. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was perfect. Oh no, it's good. It's 27 inches wide. So 27 inches wide. If I add a border to this, a border typically for me is at least 1 to 2 inches. I put a pretty big ruffle on these. So if I do a border that's say 1.5 inches, that's going to add 3 inches to every side, or 3 inches all the way around. half inch, 1.5 inches on each side. If I do a 2 inch border, then I would end up adding a 4 inch. So 27, 28, 29, 30, it would end up being kind of in the 31 inch range. So that is kind of how I work my baby blanket. So typically I buy 3 skeins when I'm working with the Parfait yarn. Let's see. Madison just added this yarn to her cart. There you go. Sparkly Witch said, makes me feel better knowing I'm not the only one that has multiple works in progress. I think you'll find a lot of people here have multiple works in progress. For me, I don't like to come on and talk about the same thing every day. And so um, it's important for me to have multiple works in progress. How do I get my hands not to hurt? Sam, make sure you're taking lots of breaks when you're crocheting. The other thing I would recommend is if you are having trouble with your hands, you may want to look at getting compression gloves, and they will add pressure to your hands that will help with some of that tension. And they have them that are fingerless, so you can still feel your yarn and everything. So compression gloves might be you might want to talk to your doctor and see if there is something going on with your hands in particular. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I actually have, uh, I have some markers of rheumatoid arthritis, some markers of lupus, not enough to officially be classified as any one thing. So I have an differentiated connective tissue disorder is what they call it. And I was not able to crochet. I get a lot of inflammation right here in my hands. You can kind of see it puffing up there. But it doesn't hurt anymore. I am treated with rheumatoid arthritis medicine, and I don't have the hand pain. But I understand the hand pain very much so, because there was a few years that I could not crochet at all because of the hand pain. So make sure that you take breaks. Make sure that you look at an ergonomic style grip or hook if you can, and make sure that you have some kind of a comfort so that there's more to hold on to than just a tiny piece of metal. I think that will help as well. If any friends here have recommendations, make sure you put them here as well for Sam, but definitely take breaks. Also, try to be relaxed. Now, when I was first learning to crochet, I would really hold tight to my yarn. I would feel like anxious about it. Try to make a conscious effort to crochet more relaxed. Don't like really grip onto your hook. Try to do that as well, and that will certainly help as well. Vivian on YouTube has asked for recommendations on crochet books, Ravelry crochet groups. So I am on Ravelry, but I'm not in any groups on Ravelry. Now, we do have a Discord, Vivian, if you are interested in getting on the Discord. And that is kind of our crochet group. So a lot of the friends that you see in the chat or over on YouTube are actually on the Discord as well. And Discord is an online chat server. Crochet Karen, thank you so much for the kitty cat. Appreciate that. And there are also groups on Facebook that you can join if you are on Facebook. Just be cautious of some of those groups. I highly recommend the Crochet Crowd group. Hooked by Robin, I think, has a crochet group. Bag a Day Crochet, Crystal has a Facebook group that is very, very good. So there are a number of groups. If you're into making baby blankets, Daisy Farm Crafts has a marvelous group as well. And so there's a number of possibilities where you can get inspiration on social media as well. So that would be my recommendation. As far as Ravelry, I don't know of any groups in there. Jill says, I know I can rewatch this, but is this pattern written anywhere? Jill, it is not written anywhere. I don't know how to read patterns. And so I just have kind of laid down some stitches, but I'm going to go over these stitches. I'm getting ready to change and turn and work in the back of my blanket again. And so I'm going to go over all these stitches. Faith, welcome. That pattern is so pretty. Thank you so much. Carrie says, I have osteoarthritis in every joint and every finger and thumb. Carrie, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's really hard when you have hand pain. I definitely know firsthand what that is like. Patty said, beautiful Colors, good morning. It is morning where I'm at, Patty. I'm in Northeast Alabama. Sour Patch said, "What pattern is that?" Again, I'm going to go over the yarn and everything uh, right now. So sit back, let me go over the details. First, let's start with what this beautiful yarn is, okay? For those that are asking, this is Lion Brand ice cream yarn. And this is the colorway Parfait. Now I'm just letting these colors flow. This is a really beautiful yarn. You can get it off Amazon. Michael sells this. I think I even saw it at Walmart one time. Now I don't know if it was an off Walmart vendor, but there's a number of places that you can pick this yarn up. You can also buy it directly from lionbrand.com on their website. I have this in a number of different flavors. It is absolutely beautiful. 394 yarns. This is a three weight, 100% acrylic yarn, machine washable and dryable. This aspect of the yarn is what makes this a great yarn for baby blankets. Now it calls for an H8 hook. This morning I am using a G6 hook. And I don't know what millimeter that is. Is that a 4.5 or maybe a 4? One of our friends here will know. I don't work in millimeters. I think it is a 4.5, but a G6 hook is what I'm using. So again, Lion Brand ice cream, really beautiful yarn. This is a baby blanket that I am making, and there is no pattern for this. This one of my favorite ways to work is I just start putting down stitches with what calls to me. And what called to me for this yarn is I chained 123 and then I turned my work. The 123rd stitch was a turning chain. So I turned my work, then I worked into the second loop of the chain and I put a half double into every single stitch. So this is a half double crochet. That is what I just finished here is a half double as we're chatting, a half double crochet the whole way along. Now I'm getting ready to turn my work. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a single crochet and I'm going to be working in the front loop and the third loop. I am leaving behind the back loop, which is what is giving this little line of texture here. And I will go over all of that stitch as well. Then I followed with a crisscross double crochet that we worked on earlier this morning, followed by a single crochet and then back to the half double. So this half double and this half double is the repeat. And you can see these are stacking up on top of each other. And this yarn is laying down just beautifully as we work along. Now I did change the skein of the yarn. Hopefully I got my yarn kind of lined up. If I didn't, it's not the end of the world. And so it is a very, very easy pattern. Okay. The most difficult part is the part I'm going to do right now, okay? And I'm going to walk you guys through this because this is a little different. But what we're looking for is I want this line of texture right here. So normally when you work a single crochet, get my yarn set up here. You work under both loops of the stitch. And in this case, you kind of have to turn your work to be able to see those two bars, the two loops. That is the top of our stitch. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm actually going to be working in the front loop. The loop that is facing me is called the front loop. The loop that is away from me is called the back loop. So I am ignoring this loop and I am only working in this front. And by doing that, what is happening is we are leaving behind this little row of texture. Okay. So the way that I do this is I'm going to go through this. Let me put some stitches in here and then I'll kind of explain. I don't chain any. I just immediately go into this stitch. Now you're going to see I'm going under two loops here. And let me just get a little bit on this project and then I will explain this in a little better detail because this is what makes this kind of magical. Okay, so if we look now, do you see the line of texture that I just made? Very, very cool and very easy to do. It's a great way to add, uh, you know, dimension and depth to your project without really doing a lot of work. So again, if I look at the top of these stitches, I would do a single crochet in the front loop, which is the one facing me. single crochet. And I'm going to do that for a number of stitches here. Okay. And again, this is going to leave behind that row of texture on the front of my project. Right now, I'm working on the back because I have turned my work. So again, there you can see the texture line forming. Now, I am working this stitch a little differently. So if you look where I first started out here, do you see how this looks different than what I just now did when I worked in the front loop? When you work in the front loop only, I went under one loop of yarn. Okay, so I went under just one loop. This is the front loop. What I have found is when I do that, it kind of allows for my work to pull up and allow extra space here. It's not as tight to my blanket. The row I did before this was a half double crochet. When you look at a half double crochet, here are the top of the stitches. Okay, there's our two loops. Looking at the side, there is another loop here that us crocheters call the third loop. So technically there are three there. Do y'all see that loop on the side? What I am doing is instead of going into just the front loop and this getting stretched out, I'm actually sliding my hook under the third loop and under the front loop when I do my single crochet. This, because I'm going under two loops, makes my stitches a little more secure. So if we look at the very beginning here, see how this doesn't pull up? It's a very tight to my half double versus right here. See how this is pulling up and adding a little extra stretch? And you can see the third loop I left behind here. That is why I am doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to pull this back out. Now, when I work my single crochets, normally when I work my single crochets, I go in like this. So my work is almost like perpendicular to my stitches. When I work on this third loop and the front loop, I almost put my hook more flat to my work and I slide it up like this. So now you can see my hook is under two loops. Then I do my single crochet. So slide under the third, single crochet, under the third, under the front, third loop, front loop, single crochet. Again, friends, you do not have to do this. This is just one way I like to keep my stitches very secure. And it just, um, I don't know, it makes me feel a little better to be going under two loops of thread instead of one loop of thread or yarn. Does that make sense why I'm basically doing this? Um, Hiccup said, can I look at the back? This is the back of the work. I'm working on the back right now. So these are the back of our crisscrosses. And then this is a half double. Here's a half double. Here's a single crochet. This is the front of the work. Okay. So again, here is that line of texture coming through. So this is the front of my blanket. You can see here was another one of those because I'm doing these repeating. Here was one in the purplish color. Okay, so that is why I am doing in the third loop and the front loop. Have people heard of the third loop? Is this a new concept? I learned about the third loop because I work on Hooked by Sunshine patterns. Hooked by Sunshine also has a Facebook group. Hooked by Sunshine is a creator named Vanessa Smith. Her nickname is Nessa. She is the most incredible pattern maker that I have really experienced. I really enjoy her patterns. And I do not read patterns. And so what I did is her patterns, you'll never see me work on them on the live. Hooked by Sunshine are all pay patterns. They also have a Facebook group. We were talking about groups earlier. But Vanessa Smith, man, she is just marvelous. What comes out of her brain is so incredible with her crochet stitches and patterns. Anyhow, I purchased the video to watch so I could make her pattern that was called Doodad. And I don't know the name of the gal who makes her video tutorials, but she takes you step by step through that pattern. Vanessa Smith and the gal who makes the videos is where I first learned about the third loop and working like this into these two stitches, leaving behind the back loop, and how it becomes more secure. When I watched her do this, it was like a little light bulb went on in my brain. And I was like, that makes so much sense to me. It makes just so much sense. And so I do try to incorporate that in. Now, I don't do it all the time. Sometimes I do just work in the front loop or the back loop. If I'm working on, a sleeve of a hexagon cardigan, or maybe the cuff of a beanie, how you have your beanie around the edge, you want that extra pull, right? So there are times when you wouldn't want to do what I'm doing right now. S- Excuse me, I'm getting a little hoarse. Been talking for a while now. I don't know what time it is, how I'm doing on time. I've been on since 7:30 this morning. But anyhow, that is where I officially first learned to do this is Hooked by Sunshine. I get her and Hooked by Robin mixed up. So many amazing people out there, but Hooked by Sunshine, Vanessa Smith is really incredible. Oh, 28 minutes. Okay, great. Thank you, Gen X. Appreciate that. Um, Rocket Girl said, love Hooked by Sunshine's Briar Rose pattern. It is a beautiful one. I have purchased the Doodad. I don't think I've purchased Marnie's Garden, but I definitely am interested in Marnie's Garden. I haven't purchased the Briar Rose. There's another one that there's several of them. Excuse me, guys. Let me get a drink here. I'm getting a little hoarse, but I've been talking too much. Excuse me, pardon me. I know that's gross. I can't help it after talking for a couple hours. It gets like that, you know? So anyhow, she just has marvelous patterns. Definitely, even if Hooked on Sunshine is outside of your skill level, just getting on the Facebook group and seeing what other people are making with her patterns is so incredibly inspirational. I see people's work on there and it's got that wow factor, and how people put together colors and think of colors differently than I think of colors is really inspirational. But it's a great Facebook group, Hooked by Sunshine. I really highly recommend it, and that's where I learned to do this single crochet the way that I'm doing it. Mary said, I'm going to buy that yarn. It is so pretty. Oh, thank you, Mary. Yes, it is really pretty yarn. I wish I could take credit for the yarn, but Lion Brand did it all. They did it all. But you can get this at Hirschner's, at Michael's, at off Amazon, a number of different places. You can buy it from lionbrand.com itself. This is the yarn that I'm using today, guys. If you're just coming on, Lion Brand ice cream yarn. Oh my gosh, you guys are almost at 70,000 likes today. This is like almost a record live. The most likes I've ever had on a live is over 100,000. But 70,000, y'all, that is a very high like ratio today. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in and being here on the live this morning. Vic, I bought this yarn from Joann's, but I don't think you can get it there anymore. But Hirschner's, um, uh, I don't know if Mary Maxim has it, but this yarn in particular, you can get it at Michael's online, Hirschner's online, or lionbrand.com or Amazon. So I buy most of my yarn online. I don't have any yarn stores that are close to me. Hobby Lobby is about an hour away. Michael's is like an hour and 15 minutes away. Joanne's used to be about an hour and 15 minutes away. So I buy a lot of yarn online. I like Hirschner's. I like Mary Maxim. I buy from Hobie, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. Um, I buy from them all. What can I say? I buy a lot of yarn. I'm I am a yarn connoisseur. I have way more yarn that I could ever use, probably in this lifetime, but I can't help myself. I just love yarn. The colors inspire me. I get a good feeling from it. And I don't know. I'm always excited to try new yarns and experience new yarns. So, definitely, if you want to see lots of yarns, stick with me. I'm showing new yarns pretty much weekly. I have new yarns on my hook that I'm trying out. I do use a lot of red heart yarn. I reset the gift goal. Thank you, Anvil. Debbie, good luck at the dentist. Yes, it is yummy, Mary. This yarn is yummy. Look at that. So pretty. Well, I should show you the pretty side. This is the pretty side. So really beautiful yarn. They have lots of different flavors of this, and I have lots of different colors of this yarn as well. So really fun colored yarn to work with. And the next row that I'm going to be doing, guys, is we're going to be back to the crisscross double crochet. So we've actually made a full cycle this morning. I'm coming up on the end here. So let me talk through these stitches again as we kind of finish our way out. Can you share the remote tool that you have that you got? Yes, I picked this up on Amazon. So you guys know I crochet on my. I hope I'm able to show this. I crochet on my lives, or when I'm watching other people. I'm usually crocheting. So like when Maggie is on, I watch her for a few hours, but I'm trying to crochet. So I got this little gadget here. I got this off the Zon, and it does the little for me. So I just it has to be plugged in. It takes a USB-C and I plug it in and then I just attach it to my phone and it works great. That way I can keep crocheting and it does the work for me. So it works great. And that way I can support other people's lives and still have my hands free and it's just going to town. Wilbur, I am making a baby blanket today. Problem is, TikTok sees those and oh yeah, hopefully they didn't see it. I don't know. I could get penalized. But that's the reason why I like to use it is because I like to have my hands free. So I don't know. Hopefully I don't get in trouble. Pine Creek, this yarn is Lion Brand ice cream yarn. And this is the colorway Parfait. Really pretty yarn. Lion Brand ice cream yarn. Uh, I started with a chain of 123, and that includes one chain. Yes, so Patty, I am working crisscross double crochets. This is the front. So when I do my crisscross double crochets, I need an even amount. So this calls for 2 stitches. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. So I chained 122. Then I added one as a turning chain. So 123. That way at the very bottom here, I was able to turn my work. And then I started with the half double. So my starting chain was 123. So, um, oh, you're welcome, Mello. Let's see. How many skeins of yarn will that take for the baby blanket? I purchased 3 yarns. I expect it to use like 2.5 or maybe 3 skeins of yarn. For sure, 2.5, but perhaps all 3. Okay, caught up with the comments. So here we go. Normally, when you work a single crochet, you go under both loops of the stitch, okay, the front loop and the back loop. The one stitch that is facing me, this one, is called the front loop. I'm skipping the back loop. I'm not using that back loop. What is happening by doing that is it puts the back loop here to the front of my project as a line of texture. And so that is why I'm not working in that stitch. Now I'm also working in the third loop. The row before that I did was a row of half doubles. We're looking at the back of the half doubles. You can see here on the side, there is another little loop here on the side. So what I am doing is I'm putting my hook under the third loop, under the front loop. So I'm going under 2 loops and then doing my single crochet. Now you can see there is the back loop that I left behind. So I'm just sliding my hook up under those two, the third loop and the front loop, and working my single crochet that way. This helps to keep this stitch a little more secure on my blanket instead of just going under one loop. Now, you do not have to do this. If you feel comfortable just going under the front loop, that is completely fine. The only thing I'm trying to do is get that line of texture onto the front of my blanket. And that is the whole purpose of what I am doing here. Now, when I get to the very end stitch here, I don't try to go under those loops or anything. I just go into the stitch and I do a single crochet. When I finish this blanket, the middle part, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a border around this. Okay. So I'll be attaching a border here along the edge and you won't see that. It'll be covered up with the border. Yes, I am using a size G6 hook this morning. So now I'm going to turn my work. Okay. So you can see here of the row below, here's where I had my single crochet, this little yellow row right here. Here's the line of texture that was left behind. Now I'm ready to start my crisscross row. Now when I do my crisscross, the first two stitches out, I do a double crochet, and I actually do a chain of two for the first one. The reason I do this is because I want to have a place to attach my border. So I'll attach the border here, then I'll have the extra double crochet, and then I'll have the crisscrosses. So the way that I do this is I chain two. This chain of two counts as my first double crochet. Now I do a double crochet into the next stitch. I go under both loops and do my double crochet. So there is my beginning. Now I'm going to do the crisscrossed double crochet. Before I do that, Seeker has asked how to do a half double. So let me quickly show that on the live and kind of do a tutorial for that. So the way you do a half double is you wrap your yarn around so you have two loops on your hook. Put your hook through and you go under both loops. Okay, there's the two loops. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have three loops. Now we're going to yarn over and go through all three of those loops. That is your half double. Again, yarn over, go under both loops, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have three, yarn over, pull through all three loops. Again, yarn over, underneath both loops, yarn over, grab up a loop. Now we have three, yarn over, pull through all three loops. Yarn over, right underneath, yarn over, grab up a loop. Now we have three, yarn over, pull through all three. So that is your half double crochet. This is not the stitch we're doing right now, but I hope, Seeker, that helped to learn how to do the half double crochet. Cheer Coach said, beautiful stitching. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, so now we're going to do crisscrossed double crochets. Again, sounds complicated. It really isn't. And I'm going to walk you through how to do this as well. So again, I'm going to be working under both loops of my stitch. When you look at the top of crochet stitches, you have two loops. The one that faces you is the front loop. The one that is away from you is the back loop. We're going to be going under both of those loops and doing a double crochet. So I skip one into the next, do a double crochet. Does anybody need help with their double crochets? Let me know. I can show that as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come back. This stitch that I skipped right here, we're going to do a double crochet into that stitch. We're going to yarn over, go under both loops all the way out the back, grab up a loop. Now we have three, yarn over, pull through two, and yarn over and pull through two. Now our double crochets are crisscrossed. Kimberly, thank you so much for the gift. Thank you. Uh, I think that was level 7. You're moving on up, girl. 15 minutes. Okay, thank you, Brady. We're going to skip one into the next here, double crochet under both loops, do a double crochet. Now we have the one here that I missed. So again, we're going to cross over that one with another double crochet. Yarn over, bring my hook back to the one I missed, go under both loops all the way out the back, grab up a loop. Now we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. This is called a crisscrossed double crochet. Skip 1 into the next, yarn over. We're going to do under both loops, double crochet. Pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. There's our double. Now we have to come back and scoop up this little guy that we missed. Yarn over, go back to the one you missed, all the way through under both loops. Grab that yarn up, pull up a loop. I kind of pull it up a little bit taller than normal. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Again, skip 1 into the next, double crochet. Guys, if you can do a double crochet, you can do this crisscross double crochet. Okay? All I'm doing is putting my hook placement in a different spot. So rather than just marching forward as we always do, I'm coming back and I'm picking up this one that I missed. So yarn over underneath both loops all the way through, grab up that loop. Diane, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Now we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. So again, crisscross, skip 1 into the next, double crochet. Now I'm going to come back and pick up this one we missed. Yarn over, under both loops, all the way through, grab that loop up, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Skip 1 into the next, double crochet, and now go back and get that little guy. Right down through, grab up a loop. Now we have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. What a cool little stitch this is, right? This is a great stitch for baby blankets, guys. It's a fabulous stitch for baby blankets. The hole is not too big. You can literally do this stitch. Some of you know the pattern I like to do by Daisy Farm Crafts. Baby Kate's Blessing Blanket. I don't have an example of it next to me. Baby Kate's Blessing Blanket, all she does is, her name is Tiffany, these crisscross double crochets just like this. Turn your work and do a single crochet. Turn your work, crisscross double crochets. That is how Baby Kate's Blessing Blanket is made. Very, very easy pattern. Again, skip 1 into the next, double crochet. Now come back and pick up this one we missed. Yarn over, all the way through under both loops. Grab that yarn, pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. You'll get the feel for how far to pull that up as you work along. What you don't want to do, let me give you this little tidbit, okay? Skip 1 into the next. Here's our double crochet. The reason you want to pull it up kind of tall, if you go through and do your double crochet too tight, what will happen is this will get really kind of squished in here. Do you see how it's pulling up right here and kind of making a big hole? That is because I have pulled this stitch really tight. So watch for that. Watch your tension as you're working this stitch. Make sure that you're giving yourself enough slack there that it's not pulling up too hard on your row below. Okay, so when I do it, I kind of give it an extra little, just a smidge. It's just a smidge. It's not a lot. Skip 1 into the next, double. Let's look at that smidge again. So again, yarn over under both loops all the way through. That's where I would normally finish. Okay, again, pull it up just a smidge and then finish that double crochet. Skip 1 into the next. Really watch your tension as you're doing this, and you'll see the difference that it makes when you're doing this stitch. You want to make sure that you're kind of relaxed. You don't want to put unwarranted tension on that row below. Vielka said, great job, step by step. I love it. Oh, you're very welcome, Vielka. I hope this is helpful, guys. Pine Creek said, absolutely love this. Thank you so much for showing. You are welcome. My pleasure. 2 step forward and 1 step back. Here we go. Skip 1 into the next, double crochet. Try that again, double crochet. Now here is our 1 backward step. Yarn over, right down under both those loops, grab your loop up. Again, give it that smidge, just a smidge, and then complete your double crochet. Skip one into the next, double crochet. Guys, this is kind of how my brain works. And so, I try to explain things like pulling it up a smidge. Hopefully, you don't find that like annoying or anything. Um, uh, these are the little things with crochet that can sometimes make a difference in how your stitches turn out. Okay. So again, you can see that's how I normally would end this stitch if I was doing a double crochet. And so I try to give these little tidbit pointers, if you will, because if you are new to this stitch, you may experience some challenges with it. And as you start working it, you'll be like April said, I need to pull this up a little bit, just a smidge, just a smidge. And that might make all the difference in how this stitch works up for you and lays down on your work. Because you do want to have a lot of give to your project, right? You want this to be kind of loose. You don't want it to be like super sloppy, but anyhow, it's definitely kind of an art form. When you end each row, turn, and then are we skipping any stitches for each row? When you turn each row, hang on, I'm trying to understand that comment. Let me rewind. When you end each row, turn, then are we skipping any stitches for each row? No, I think I understand what you mean, Jill. When I turned my work, here, I ended with a single crochet right here. This little purple stitch that you see here is a single crochet. Um, this one here is the next, or maybe that was my half double, but I didn't skip any stitches. I immediately started out, I did a chain of 3 here as my first stitch out. Does that help? You might have to go back and watch the YouTube, Jill. I've been talking about this for a while now. So if you are just coming on, April said, I can't wait to make mine. Love it. Thank you so much. There's no chaining in this, right? That is correct, April. I'm not chaining any on this crisscross double crochet. What April is referring to, guys, there are some crisscross stitches where you do a chain. And the way you do those typically is you would skip one, okay, or two. So this is another way to do this stitch. This is not what I'm doing for this blanket, but I'm going to skip 2 stitches and work my double crochet into the 3rd stitch. Then I chain 1. This chain 1 counts as the middle stitch right here. Then I work the double crochet back into the 1st stitch. The other way you can do that, so it basically makes the stitch wider. The other way you can do that is not actually encapsulate this stitch, but you actually work on this from the back. And this makes a different style of crisscross than what I am doing today. Now, April, this is a good segue into tomorrow's live because I'm pretty sure the pattern I'm doing tomorrow utilizes this stitch right here, which is different than the one I'm doing right now. This is, they're both considered crisscrosses, but one has a chain in between. Tomorrow I'm working on like a pink and blue and lavender blanket. Tomorrow, Mom, if that was what you were asking. Um, let's see. I love how you explain how it works in your brain. Makes super easy for a beginner. I hope so. That's all I'm trying to do. Guys, I'm going to be ending here. I'm getting my little warning for coming up on time. I do have to hop off and go to work. Yesterday was a very crazy day for me at work. So I'm going to be ending the live here. I just wanted to say thank you for all of the taps this morning, all the love, all the comments, everybody who's been here this morning. It has been a really busy live. Thank you for your patience as I try to explain stitches and everything and read through all of the comments. I know it was a lot. Mom said this wool is beautiful. Yes, thank you. If you are just coming on, this is Lion Brand ice cream yarn, and this is the colorway Parfait. This is a 3-weight yarn that I actually got from Joann's, but you can get it at a number of retailers here in the US. Shirley said, "Love your live." Shirley, thank you so much for being here this morning. Mrs. Tommy, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope to see everybody tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to be working on a kid blanket. I'm going to be doing a lot of stitch teaching tomorrow, 7:30 Central Time. Thursday's live. If you have not seen, I'm going to be working on a bumblebee, little amigurumi. We're going to be starting one of these from scratch. This is, I love this cotton. If you're interested in getting into amigurumi, this will be a very beginner, basic amigurumi. I'm not an amigurumi teacher by any means, but I know enough about amigurumi and I've made enough amigurumis that I will be explaining this. This is a free pattern by Hooked by Robin. So this is on deck for Thursday. Hannah says she won't be here tomorrow, so see you Thursday. Bye, Hannah. I will see you on Thursday. Randa, have a great day. Friends, thank you all so much. Thank you to all the subscribers. Thanks you for all the love and support. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the gifts and everything. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye for now.